there. Welcome my besties, how are you? Welcome to my DIY channel. I'm so excited to bring to you today a pumpkin wreath. I bring them every year and they seem to be most popular here, so why not? Well, today's theme is gonna be faux textures. Soft, chunky yarn. How beautiful is that? Can you feel it? And something new from the Dollar Tree. Faux leather accents. How pretty. Typical fall. I'm so excited to create something beautiful for you. I hope you like it. If you do, please press thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel yet, go ahead, hit the red button, become my bestie, and we will be in touch, okay? So excited, let's get started. Bonus, I will show you how to make adorable pumpkin stand out of free supplies. Oh, what a trick. You're gonna love it. It's gonna come in useful in so many different pumpkins. We are going to use the wire wreath form from the Dollar Tree, and I want to just point out this year's pumpkin is much smaller than last year's. I don't know if you're aware of that, but I just got one this year's and look, a lot shorter, maybe a bit wider. Well, anyway, I'm just happy they have a lot of them and hopefully you're going to be able to get your hands on them. Here is a barcode if you like to look it up online. Today, I'll be using the larger one. And the chunky yarn, I got it on sale at Michael's for $5 and the name is Cappuccino. If you're using the smaller form, I bet you could make 2 pumpkins out of 1 yarn. Start off by tying the knot in the bottom left corner on the inside of the pumpkin. We are going to be weaving. But before we start, the bundle of yarn is just too big to fit in between the pumpkin ribs, so we have to wind up some yarn on top of your hand and cut it off. You can test how big it fits. I would say 20-25 times maximum. Cut it off and I decided to try a trick. Put my yarn in a sandwich baggie so it's easier to pass in between the ribs. And the weaving process is so easy. Just pass it over and under, over and under, all the way across. And then you start going back the other way. Under, over, under, and so on. Just pay attention that you alternate your rows. First row you went over, under, and the second row you're gonna go under, over, under, over. You see what I mean? This is such an easy and fast process that my yarn fell out of my baggie actually. But I have to tell you that it's easier to keep it in there because it's just less messy. My yarn got tangled as I had it loose like that. Anyway, very easy, fast method. I recommend trying the yarn if you haven't yet. Excuse me, I think I have a helper here. Come here, baby. Oh, you're just as soft as that yarn. Let me just finish this up quickly for you. Okay, looks like this is going to be the last run. We're gonna stretch it through the end so we could glue it underneath the form. Not enough to tie a knot, so I'm just gonna use hot glue. Press it down and look how pretty that comes out. So nice and soft. Wind up some more yarn and we will continue weaving. I have to tell you, this is the easiest method if you've done the football wreath before or the cross wreath or my anchor. This is hands down the easiest ever. this is going to be walk in the park for you. So just check where you finished before. So your row will be opposite. If you had your yarn over, you're going to go under first. So just tie your knot in the back there. And continue weaving all the way across, back and forth. As you're going to be weaving the second part of your pumpkin, you're going to notice that your yarn will tend to slide down. You might want to start from the top and go towards the middle, but I just couldn't do that because I wanted to continue my yarn pattern. With one color yarn, I think you can easily start at the top. I just wanted to stay with the pattern, didn't want to mess it up, so that's why I continued with it. I just finished the second section, so I'm gonna tie the knot there. Actually, it's a bit short. I'm gonna use hot glue. And it looks like I have a second helper now. Meet my Tweety bird if you haven't met her yet. Glue down any other ends and knots that you might have sticking out. And start up the next section. I would like to finish this section off, so I'm gonna wind up just a little bit extra. But once you have such a big roll, it's not going to be easy to squeeze in between the ribs, especially at the top. You have smaller spaces, so I had to loosen it up a little bit. And again, just continue weaving over and under, opposite of what the previous row was. So I quickly learned that it's easier to work with less yarn. It just goes much faster actually, so it doesn't matter that you have one more knot there. It's okay, you can't even see it, but makes the weaving process much easier. When you put it in your little baggie and you pass through it, it's just easier. Also, this top part, like I said, tends to slide down. So if you're not gonna work from top to the bottom, you might want to use a dab of hot glue here and there. My glue was just warming up, but it definitely helps to hold your yarn in place. And now, since I have less of it, I'll put it back in the bag and just continue weaving through the top. Use a dab of hot glue here and there to prevent the yarn from sliding down. As you reach the top, the rows become shorter, and you just continue weaving all the way through left to right until you cannot squeeze anymore there. Alright, we reached the end. I'm just gonna wrap it around a few times over there so it doesn't unravel. Finish off with a dab of hot glue. And take a look at that. So nice and soft, like a beautiful fall sweater, right? Or a nice soft pillow. If you see any frame over there, you might want to add a little bit of hot glue and make sure that the yarn stays on there. Notice I didn't cover the pumpkin stem. As I already mentioned, I'm going to show you an idea how to make one out of 3 items. We made many stems before on these pumpkins, and this is something new, something different. Let me show you how to make a pumpkin stem out of a free brown bag that you get at a grocery store or when you get your takeout food. First, you're going to cut 2 large rectangles, remove any handles, and cover your rectangles with white school glue. Just paint over all sides, okay? So this is a double layer painted on both sides, and you're going to start in a corner and start rolling and continue squeezing it. Roll up the whole thing, and as you roll it, just start twisting the tip, especially at the tip, because that's going to be tip of your stem. Continue squeezing and twisting all the way down, just like so. And you can shape it, you can bend it, curl it, whatever you like. And the bottom, you can actually rip it open so you can use that bottom to wrap it later around your pumpkin stem. At the end, you might want to give it a good layer of Mod Podge, just to fill in all the crevices and also make it a little bit more stiff. Okay, and give it one more good twist and leave it out to dry overnight. And this is how it looks the next day. Feel free to paint it any color that you like. I actually like this color. I think it coordinates great with my pumpkin, so I'm gonna leave it as is. I'll just use some hot glue to cover that wire stem with the one that we just made. Add some more glue on the sides and cover with the paper flaps. Reinforce it in the back as well. Let it dry for a moment and then tuck in any paper flap that is showing over there covering the yarn. Just tuck it under. And just to finish off the back, I rip out a patch of paper and cover it up back there. Just in case if you are wondering, the stem is 10 inches long. And here's the look at the chunky yarn's fall sweater pumpkin with that fun whimsical stem. How do you like it? I think it's fun the way it is, but I have some leather accents from the Dollar Tree that I cannot wait to add. Also, I wasn't planning on making a bow, but since they came up with the velvet ribbon, well, we have to make a bow now. You can just imagine my shock when I start measuring the ribbon and it ends right away. What? It's not even enough to make a nice, good bow. It's not the standard 3 yards. It's barely 1 yard. Wow, shame on you, Dollar Tree. I will show you how to make it work, but it's not a good value for your $1.25. Measure a 6-inch tail, pinch. Measure 10 inches, fold in half. You're gonna get 5-inch loop. Another 10 inches, fold in half, 5-inch loop, and you're gonna have a remaining 6-inch tail. Tie it with a pipe cleaner or a floral wire. You have a cute simple bow, and we're gonna make a second one just like it and tie it on top. Let's measure this one. I think it's a bit more than the orange one, but it's not exactly a full yard either. Fold over your end, just like they have in the beginning, so we don't waste any ribbon here. And again, pinch 6-inch tail, then 10 inches, fold in half, that's a 5-inch loop. One more, pinch it, and tie it on top of the first bow. Okay, fluff it up, run your fingers through these loops and tails. In the end, even though I'm disappointed that I'm getting so much less for my money, I think it's a nice small bow. I guess if you just need a little bit of ribbon, it's still worth getting. You don't have to invest a lot of money if you need just a little bit. But if you plan to decorate more, make a bigger bow, definitely order your velvet ribbon somewhere else. We are going to attach this bow on the side of the pumpkin. Just thread it through the yarn and attach it to one of the pumpkin ribs to the wire and tie it in the back. Take a look at this. I think it looks pretty. Nice accent bow on the side, something different. If you're looking for a big bow, any other technique, feel free to check out my other videos. I'm going to provide the links in the description box below. All different techniques, different styles. Worth checking out. And as I mentioned, I'm going to add some leather accents here, as well as some Dollar Tree picks, and take it up a notch. First, we are going to add the rose in the center of the bow. Next, we are going to add some of those leather warts. You get a pack of 4. I think they will look cute here on the side. And then we are going to add some of those adorable leather leaves. I have maple and oak. I wish they had them in different colors. And let me know if maybe your store does have, or only orange in my store. I start off by adding the leaves around the stem, and don't be afraid just to play around to see what looks good. I think one of each leaf is better. It's good to have different sizes of leaves. That's why even the same color, I took 2 packs, because smaller and larger definitely works better. And then adding some leaves in the center of the bow as well. One more here. And how about one on the side here? Why not? A little bit too far. Maybe move it up closer. Yeah, I like that. And now we are going to add some picks, like this Dollar Tree willow. Just cut it to pieces. Some of it you can cut it even in half, because you don't need such long pieces for like the center of the bow. And the longer pieces, feel free to bend and add them some movement and insert them all around your bow. The miniature leather pumpkins from the Dollar Tree are not so great, so I have to take them up a notch, recreate new stems for them using the same technique as we did for the large pumpkin. Just a miniature version. Twist and shape your paper stems and attach them to the pumpkin with some hot glue. Just cover the existing stem and wrap around it with the new one. And just like that, you got a cute looking whimsical pumpkin. Isn't that much better? I think so. I'm going to remove the amaryllis flowers and use those stems to attach the pumpkins and create cute little pumpkin pigs. I just have to cut the little slit to insert that stem into the pumpkin. We are going to add these cute little pumpkin pigs around the bow. And for the final touch, we are going to cut apart some red maple leaves and add them throughout the wreath. I think they're gonna tie the whole thing together. All right, I'm gonna stop here. Tell me, how do you like it if this doesn't scream fall to you? Ready for cozy sweater weather. Alright, my besties, this is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget, first thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share this video with your besties, and see you next time. Bye bye. Oh, excuse me. What are you doing?